Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. After viewing some rock art near this area of desert, I decided to return and have a more thorough look. I was curious if the rock art was random or if there might have been some type of habitation in the area, such as a pit house or houses. I was under the impression that if there was an area that had pit house or houses, then more than likely most of that would be buried, since I would be searching in an environment with abundant loose sand and somewhat sparse vegetation. Typical desert environment. As far as dating the rock art of possible habitation sites, I felt that this area was more than likely occupied by the basket maker Ancestral Puebloan culture, going back 1,000 years or older. That particular culture or cultures inhabited the Colorado Plateau and are known for their impressive rock art and, more famously, their cliff dwellings. One thing to note is that the Ancestral Puebloan culture seemingly collapsed sometime in the 13th century, and the Colorado Plateau may have been abandoned for a period after the collapse. Since I can only document what I come across that is visible on the surface, I can't really get an accurate date of how old any given artifact or habitation site really is, since I don't have any of the resources that academics archaeologists have, so it's all my own speculation. Please bear that in mind. Please join me as I head out into the desert to discover what once was. Buenos dias. We're out wandering high desert again, and what we're kind of hoping to come across today, it's basically a recon day, so our expectations are really low about finding anything, but what we're hoping to come across are some possible pit houses indicating a village out in the desert here. We're essentially walking in deep sand. It's a cold morning, and boom, we have already found something. Jen, have a look at this. So mixed in the sand here, we've got potsherds where my finger's pointing on the surface. So we are limited to only investigating or finding things on the surface. We can't take it or anything, but whatever we find on the surface, that is, we can document it with the video. So if there's some potsherds mixed in on the top of the sand here, look at this, that looks like lithic material, then we may be near an ancient village. So this is a good sign. There's potsherds all over the place right here. I'm just gonna pick the substance on the surface. We'll have a quick look. This camera doesn't focus that well. Plain gray pottery. This could be pretty old, could be 1,000 years old. This is a very common type of pottery, and this is a good start, wouldn't you say, Jen? Yep. So, right on. We are around something. We're kind of on a rise. Maybe there's some pit houses right at the top here, or maybe we're on it. Maybe it's just buried in sand. This is an interesting start of the day. That was quick, wasn't it? Yeah. So we've got some springs in the area, which is kind of what we're kind of wandering towards, thinking that if anyone lived out here, then they would have had their habitation areas probably near the springs. And as far as the culture, probably Ancestral Puebloan, so we're going back 1,000 years or farther, 800 to 1,000 years. So we're thinking, got more pottery here. This is a good sign. Man, looking at the ground right here, I've got lots of, there's pottery right here, nice piece. The plain gray stuff. I got some lithic material scattered in. Oh, there's another larger piece right here, pottery on the surface. So we might be on the village right now. There's a really nice piece of pottery right here. Let's have a look. Just the gray stuff. There's a reason this is called slick rock. Make sure there's no ice on this. Man, it's just a whole lot of country. So I think we've already come across probably some ruins, but like I said, everything's buried in sand. So this is very exciting. And more evidence right here. Lithic material. This may not seem like much, but it's indicating a presence of people. So we start finding more and more of it, then we may be getting close to or on top of a buried, village. So it's kind of interesting. Just came across something that is extremely out of place. Right there. That might be, that's a mono. It's totally smooth. We get another camera for a close-up here. All right. Oh yeah, that's totally smooth. Oh yeah. Check that out. You can totally tell that's a mono. Look how it's been worn down. Look how smooth that is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, real smooth.
Yep.
Huh, nice and light.
Yep. Okay, well that's a good sign, huh?
Yes, it is.
There we go. I mean, I guess you could call that an artifact. It's definitely been smoothed down, used for, grinding. However, it's still just a rock. But it's very interesting that it's on the surface right here, so we may be in the vicinity of something. But you can definitely see the shape, how it's been shaped down. Kind of uniform. All right, so I'm just going to leave that where I found it, and we're going to continue searching. This is, I don't know, I find it incredible. It's obviously been ground down, so that is encouraging. We'll continue having a look. Starting to see a little more lithic material here. Oh, this is a good sign. More and more lithic material, a mono. We might be getting close to something. All right, we're coming down from a rise and just found a piece of pottery on the surface here. Yep, that is corrugated pottery right there, without a doubt. That's interesting. Just on the surface, almost the same color as the sand.
I did see that.
Yeah. That's interesting. Question is, we were up top here, we didn't see anything, so did it wash down or is it right in front of us? Yeah, we keep running into little breadcrumbs. And more than likely, we're not going to run into, some extravagant ruin, because everything is, for the most part, going to be buried in sand out here. But we may be able to discern a pit house if we stumble across one. Don't know. Yeah, so the sands are continually shifting, so pieces will get uncovered. Then everything will dry out, the sand will get really loose and blow around with all the winds, and things will get recovered and uncovered and so on and so forth. So, yep. But we are finding things today. Well, we keep running into... Oh, yeah, look at that, Jen. You see how it's been worked.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Finally. It's a pretty good one.
May maybe nothing, just a nice piece of flaking there, but yeah, it's really spotty here and there. All right, we've been making our way back and just came across a piece of pottery on the surface there. Almost the same color as everything else. That is indeed pottery. We're thinking there might be something at the top of this rise. Well, we're gonna walk there and find out. Almost to the top, there's another piece of pottery right there. More pottery there. You getting warmer? Keep finding more and more, and you see right here. Yeah. There's pot sherds all mixed in up here. All right, well, we found a pit house. Man, it's right beside an ATV track. Look at that. And there it is. You'd ride right by this and think maybe nothing of it. But look closely, there's all types of pottery. Maybe someone's been here before. It looks like some of the pottery's been collected, but you can see how the stones, yeah, there's a pile of pottery right here. I bet someone's been here. But the stones are arranged in a manner. That's interesting. Yeah, there's debris all over the place. But you can, well, it just gives you an idea. You can see how the rocks are arranged here. There's a big piece right there, you can see. Huh. That's really interesting. Well, you found another piece of pottery? Oh yeah, look at that. Yep. That's interesting. All right, well, definitely came across something here. Yeah, this whole mountain this juniper's growing out of, it might be just one big ruin. That's pretty cool. Yeah, if we go across from it, I bet here's another one. Yeah, there's another ruin under here. There's a whole bunch of pottery placed there. Oh yeah, totally. Well, this tree's growing out of, this whole thing right here is a ruin. That's pretty exciting. There's pot sherds all over the area. That's fascinating. Wow. So this whole hilltop, I think we're at like the high point maybe, is, could be possibly nothing but ruins. There's pottery. Lots of pottery. All right. Just fine, Jen.
Metate stone.
Oh yeah, man. It's like total metate. So this has been smoothed out. I don't know if the camera's really giving it a good angle, but you can see where it's a bit concave in this area right here. So that's where things were ground with like the mono I found earlier. That is an absolute metate stone. Just in this sand dune. Everything's covered in sand. Yeah. You know? Everything's just totally covered in sand out here. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Come different angle, but that is a metate, yep. You definitely see how that's smoothed out. Wow, nice find, Jen. Well, that was an interesting day of wandering in the desert, wouldn't you say, Jen? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we came across some interesting items. A lot of pot sherds and obviously some ruins. That metate stone was really cool. Yeah. It's just kind of hard to place it out here, just in the deep sand, that there might have been a village of some size. I mean, there's a considerable amount of springs in the area, so I guess water wouldn't have been such a problem, but still, it's still just kind of hard to wrap your head around, you know? So there you have it. We did, I I guess we did find a village.
Yeah.
Or something that resembles it. Yeah, it was interesting day. So folks, got lots more content on the way. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. It is free. Helps the channel tremendously. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out.
Chin out.
Adios.